Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to join our community and stay updated with our latest content. We delve into a variety of thought-provoking topics, and today's discussion might resonate with many of you. We'll be exploring the concept of how God avenges the victims of narcissism. This is a topic that touches on spirituality, psychology, and morality, and it's one that many of us can relate to, whether through personal experiences or through witnessing the experiences of others. Narcissism, at its core, is characterized by an excessive interest in oneself, a lack of empathy, and an inflated sense of one's own importance. It is a personality disorder that affects not only the individual who possesses these traits, but also everyone around them. Victims of narcissistic behavior often find themselves in a whirlwind of manipulation, deceit, and emotional turmoil. It's a path that many have walked, and unfortunately, a path that leaves many wounded. One of the most profound sources of solace and strength for victims of narcissistic abuse is their faith. Many turn to their spiritual beliefs for comfort and understanding, seeking a higher power's guidance in navigating the storm of narcissistic entanglement. The question arises, how does God avenge the victims of narcissism? Is there a divine justice that intervenes on behalf of those who suffer? In many religious beliefs, God is seen as the ultimate arbiter of justice, one who sees all and knows all. This belief offers comfort in the knowledge that there is a divine presence that witnesses the suffering of victims and promises retribution against those who cause harm. The Bible, for instance, is replete with verses that speak to God's role in avenging wrongs and protecting the oppressed. In Romans 12, verse 19, it states, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, 'It is mine to avenge. I will repay,' says the Lord." This passage highlights the belief that vengeance is not ours to seek, but rather something that God will deliver in His own time. It is a reminder that divine justice operates on a different timetable than human justice, often requiring patience and faith. This can be incredibly challenging for victims who seek immediate justice, but the promise of divine intervention offers hope and reassurance. Furthermore, the concept of karma is another lens through which we can view how justice unfolds. Karma, a fundamental principle in Hinduism and Buddhism, suggests that the actions of individuals inevitably return to them, either in this life or the next. This principle resonates with many who have suffered at the hands of narcissists, offering a form of cosmic justice that ensures everyone reaps what they sow. The idea that God or the universe has a way of balancing the scales can be empowering for victims. It allows them to release their anger and bitterness, trusting that justice will be served in due time. This does not mean that victims should remain passive in the face of abuse. Rather, it encourages them to seek healing and empowerment, knowing that their suffering has not gone unnoticed by a higher power. It's also important to consider how God's intervention may not always manifest in ways we expect. Justice might not mean the narcissist faces legal consequences or public disgrace, but it could mean that they lose the ability to manipulate and harm others. It might mean that their actions eventually lead to their own downfall, as the truth about their behavior comes to light. In many cases, the natural consequences of their actions, alienation, loss of trust, and eventual isolation, serve as their punishment. Moreover, God's vengeance can also take the form of redemption and transformation for the victim. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse find that their suffering leads them to greater self-awareness, resilience, and empathy. They emerge from the experience with a stronger sense of self and a clearer understanding of their own worth. This transformation can be seen as a form of divine retribution, where the victim's triumph and growth serve as a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of faith. The community of survivors also plays a crucial role in the healing process. Through shared experiences and mutual support, victims of narcissism often find solace and strength. This communal support is another way God's justice manifests, as it provides a network of understanding and encouragement that empowers victims to reclaim their lives. The shared stories and wisdom of others who have walked similar paths can be a guiding light for those who are still in the midst of their struggle. In a broader sense, the rise of awareness about narcissistic abuse and the increasing availability of resources for victims can be seen as part of God's plan to bring justice and healing. As more people become educated about narcissism and its effects, society becomes better equipped to support victims and hold perpetrators accountable. This cultural shift is a form of collective retribution, ensuring that the cycle of abuse is interrupted and future victims are protected. Of course, the path to healing and justice is not without its challenges. Victims often grapple with feelings of anger, betrayal, and a desire for revenge. It is natural to want to see those who have wronged us suffer for their actions, but it is important to remember that harboring such feelings can impede our own healing process. By focusing on our own growth and well-being, we allow ourselves to move forward and create a future free from the shadows of our past. Forgiveness, while difficult, is another aspect of divine justice that can lead to healing. Forgiving a narcissist does not mean condoning their behavior or forgetting the harm they caused. Rather, it is about releasing the hold that anger and resentment have on our hearts. Forgiveness can be a powerful act of liberation, allowing us to reclaim our peace and move forward with our lives. It is a deeply personal journey, one that requires time and reflection, but it can ultimately be one of the most rewarding steps toward healing. In conclusion, while the journey of a victim of narcissism is fraught with challenges, there's hope in the belief that a higher power is watching over them. Whether through divine intervention, karmic justice, or personal transformation, God avenges the victims of narcissism in ways that may not be immediately visible, but are nonetheless profound and meaningful. By placing our trust in a higher power, we can find the strength to heal, grow, and ultimately overcome the darkness that narcissism brings. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of how God avenges the victims of narcissism. We hope this discussion has offered some insight and comfort to those who may be struggling with similar experiences. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from this message. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Until next time, take care and stay strong.